Hello! Let me turn on the music. How are you? What is this XP thing? I don't know. It's I think it's something YouTube has started with, where you can see like you have like a number of it's a ranking system or something. I don't know. Hello, the almighty Onion Sarkon 16. Yo. How are you? I've never streamed this early before. It's 9. It's before 10. I was actually thinking it could be after 10, but just, yeah. KYLR, hello. Yeah, so as you can see in the stream title today, I was thinking we could do, like some 7-segment displays. I've already made a tutorial about this before. But I was thinking, I'm kind of obsessed with these stream countdowns nowadays. Or I've done one of them. But I was thinking, wouldn't it be really fun to do like a long stream that is all about making one video file? And the video file will also be very long, because I'm not going to render it on video, because it probably will be like a 5-minute render. But yeah, maybe I can change my yeah, here you can see. So on my channel, I have previously made this this tutorial about the 7-segment displays. Yeah, here you can see how it works. You're basically modeling these displays that is like based on segments. And I was thinking, why don't I just take you through this entire process on how I would model this and animate it to move like a clock that is counting down from, let's say, 300 seconds down to 0, for example, which is the same timer that I used for this stream. So 5 minutes basically. So sorry. So yeah, I think we should I need to change the music, because I have this playlist. I was thinking we could listen to some ambient music today. I'm using Epidemic Sound, which is I have an affiliate link in the description if you want to try it out, but yeah, you can choose. Okay, so in Blender, I'm gonna open up. I'm using Blender version 4.5, by the way. It's a little bit dark. No, I'm using Blender version 4.5, and I'm going to start off by just basically doing the same thing as the beginning of the 7-segment display tutorial, but it will be more of a focus on the animation aspect, because that requires just so much tweaking, and it also is it isn't super intuitive to animate a clock, because yeah, you have to kind of use your brain a little bit in a weird way. So I'm going to add a circle, and I'm going to set the vertices to 6. And I was thinking that maybe this stream is not like a tutorial, it's more like just a session. Yeah, chill vibes from Reject Convenience. Yeah, hello from Canada, Vancouver. Okay. Oh, by the way, one thing that is different today from last stream is that I no longer have like this prompter. I used to have like a teleprompter, so when I was reading chat, I would like look like there. But I looked at the stream and I was like, oh, that is so creepy to have someone like read your message like this. And I was like, oh, this is too much. So now you can see it when I'm looking down here. I'm reading the chat like there. So we can have like a conversation like this, and then I can say stuff like, yeah, probably not that important to you, but it felt very weird to me, and I feel like it should be more comfortable for me. If I'm going to stream for a long time, it should be like that. And now just a quick adjustment here. There we go. Okay, so let's get back to the hello from Moldova. Nice. So I want to make I actually want to start over. Yeah. Okay, so in Blender version 4.5, I'm going to create a circle, and you can change the vertices count to 6. And then I want to kind of rotate it a little bit so it's like standing up. And I think the part about this that is a little bit difficult is to get like the correct thickness of these 7 segments. Because we have, let me see. I think the Wikipedia article has a nice image. Yeah, this one. So it's all about making these 7 segments, and then we're going to animate them, and then we're going to give them a shader so they light up. So we don't need to turn them on and off. We can animate them using rotation keyframes, which I think is such a cool concept, because something happens when you have light sources that are moving around. You get like so much free movement, which is really cool. So I want to kind of spend some time trying to just dial in this shape. And I think I want to make some copies so we can start out. Yeah, so here you can see already these are not lining up here. We want this edge to be, we want them to line up perfectly. So that means that I'm going to be linking these. So Control L and then just link object data. So now we can just take one of them and we can scale it up, and you can see it. We can kind of tweak all of them at the same time. Yeah, this is a nostalgic shape to me. This 7 segment display. I feel like every time you wake up and you go to bed and you have a digital clock, you look at this and you feel like nostalgic about it. I really love this shape. Mixed 3D, isn't that from an old video you did? Yes, it is. But in that video I didn't show like animating the full process. So today I'm going to show how you can animate this entire countdown from, for example, 300 seconds, which is the stream link. Yeah. Oh, reject convenience. I didn't know about linking objects. This is linking objects using Control L is actually the equivalent of using Alt D, duplicate linked. So that's like when people are duplicating linked, you could also just duplicate regularly and then Control L and link object data after instead of duplicating linked. Yeah. And then if you want to kind of break them apart again, I think you can go object relations, make single user, and then object and data, I think. Yeah. Okay. So now that we have our shape here, maybe we can customize this a little bit more. Yeah, maybe we can make them a little bit fatter. Something like... Yeah, I actually want them to be a little bit more fat. Maybe like this. Yeah. Okay, and also I want to save this because I hate when if it crashes. So sev seg disp version 1. I also have a new keyboard now. Can you hear that? If I type. I don't know if I posted about it on Instagram, and a lot of people were commenting, "Oh, I know that keyboard. I have that keyboard." Crazy. It's the what is it? Maybe you can see it here. It's a Keychron something. Oof, I really wish I had the name for it. It's a big one, at least. It's 100% size. Yeah, but as you can probably tell, I'm not meant to hold a conversation for more than 30 seconds because I just digress all the time. So I'm going to try and stay on topic. Why no more HDR videos? I feel like it's a lot of work and it's not that impactful. And HDR might be a little bit of a gimmick also, so I'm not sure. I think I should make a video about how I feel about HDR at some point, but not today, I think. Okay, so here we have our display. Now we're going to add some. I think we want to add the materials first, because then it's easier to see what it looks like when we're turning it on and off. So, if we, for example, take this first segment here, should we? No. Yeah, take this segment here. Since they're all linked, we can manipulate all of them at the same time. Yeah. Oops. That looks good. So now we have this in the center. If we rotate all of these on the local x-axis, nope, local y-axis. Wow, what's, oh, we need to set it to individual origins. Yeah. Now you can see we can rotate it like this. So this effect is all about making the rotation happen in a kind of cool way, I think. And I also don't want them to intersect. Yeah, so now they're not intersecting. Perfect. Also, something really cool, since these have individual origins, look at this effect. If you rotate it, they're just not intersecting. How cool is that? Did you know a 7-segment display could do that? Kind of rotate it around like this. Really cool effect. So I think that that's going to be a fun way to start and stop. I think I actually did that for the previous animation. Yeah. Okay. So let's try and add the materials to this, because once we have the material, then we can start animating, because it's a little bit difficult to see, like, this is the front and this is the back. You really can't tell, you know. So I want to make an inset here and make like this texture in the, like this. So I'm going to call this edge. Oh, and I'm going to call this core. Oop. There we go. So now it's much easier to see. Look at this. You can see that this is off and now this is on. Off, on. So that means we can start animating. Okay, so I want to set this to the graph editor. And something I noticed, by the way, because I was just testing this yesterday, this is a really interesting bug actually in Blender 4.5, is that the frame rate, if I'm setting the frame rate now to, oops, here you can see, my frame rate is currently set to 30 frames per second, here you can see, but in Blender, the default project file is 24 frames per second. And here you can see that now you can see the frames, and you have these highlighted lines, right? Can I zoom like this? Yeah, you have these highlighted lines here, 40, 50, 60, you know? But if I go to 30, but if I go to the seconds, so Control T, now I can see the seconds. Here you can see that you have 2 seconds, that's a thick line. Maybe I can zoom in again. 2 seconds is the thick line. 3 seconds is also a thick line. You can see these thick lines are kind of lining up with the most important times in the 24 frames per second timeline. But if I set it to 30 frames per second, then this timing changes. So now these thick lines are just arbitrary. So it seems like that, oh, you don't see the zoom? Oh, well. Yeah, anyways, these thick lines, they don't, they're not correct in 24 frames per second. That's such a niche bug. You're probably not interested in bug reporting, but at least that's something I discovered yesterday, which gave me a lot of joy. So maybe if some developer is watching, they're probably they have better things to do at 10 in the morning and before the Blender conference, I think. Okay. So now we have this number here. we want to animate this. So I'm going to keep this at frames because it's a little bit easier to think in frames, I think, especially with these thick lines. So we're going to start on frame 0 actually, because yeah, this bug is fixed in 5.0. Nice, amazing. Oh, the last Blender Today stream said they're fixing that. That's awesome. Okay, sweet. Nice, I didn't know. Thank you so much. Okay, now let's actually start animating. So first I want to add keyframes to every frame. That's like the key part of this. I want to, every frame we need keyframes. Even though we're not animating this one, for example, we want to give it a keyframe. Because then we can do some clever things with the interpolation, like making things... yeah, let me show you, it's gonna make sense. So, on the 0th frame, I want to go K and insert a rotation keyframe. So I'm just gonna press KR. And then let's go to frame 15, which is half the way, which is half a second at 30 frames per second. And we're gonna, hang on, we're actually gonna start with this one being rotated 180 degrees. Oh my god, I completely forgot. We need to use quaternions. We can't use Euler rotation today, we need to use quaternions. Trust me, this is such a big deal. Because you're gonna get huge motion blur issues if you don't do this. So this is, you won't be able to notice it actually, unless you do the final render. But here you can see that when we are rotating this, we have 3 rotation values. So I'm actually gonna delete all my keyframes. Because we are in Euler rotation, XYZ Euler. But if we set it to quaternion, we get a 4th kind of value that can be changed, which will make the keyframes behave a lot more predictably. You won't be able to see it here, but there will be like, in one frame, it can rotate 360 degrees, like instantly, and then it will be some motion blur issues. Yeah, Blender does use Euler rotations for objects, but if you're working with armature, where this is a much bigger problem, the default is quaternion, I think. So let's hold on Alt, and I'm going to change this to quaternion. So now all of these objects have quaternion rotation, and we have 4 values instead. Yeah. So now we can rotate this one, and then we can add rotation keyframes to all of them. So let's go to frame 15, and we're going to produce number 1. So that means we need to take these numbers. Is the chat a little bit distracting when it's there? Should I place it like here maybe? Yeah. So now if we take this 1 here, RXX 180, and then A to select everything, even if these didn't move, we want to give them keyframes anyways, so giving them keyframes. So here you can see every object here is getting keyframes. So now we have this animation where this is oh, that's the wrong yeah, I rotated this on the wrong axis, so should be local Z. Yeah, this changed when I changed to quaternion, I think. Okay, so new keyframes, 15. There we go. Okay, and then I'm adding rotation keyframes. Okay, so now we have from 0 to 1. And then I want to go to frame 30, and I want to just make another keyframe. So we get this line here, which means that everything is just standing still. And now we're going to make number 2. So let's advance 15 more frames, which is frame 45. And now we can make the number 2. So that means we need to rotate all of these 180 degrees. Like that. And then, yeah, 2, so 1. So the important part is here is that on frame 30 or Control T, you can see it's the first second number 1, it says the number 1. And on second number 2, like this, it says the number 2. So this is important because that means that we have 1 second every second because we are actually making a clock. So we need to be strict about our timings here. So if we go to 60, we should be on 75. So let's make number 3. And then we make other keyframes again. And then we go to frame 105, where we're going to make number 4, which should be these. And then 4 seconds is 120. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm counting up. It's just you're missing a block on number 2. Oh yes, I am. Thank you so much. Oh, okay, how do I fix that? Oh, I'm so glad you said that. Thank you. Okay. Look at the chat. Look at the chat. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, we need to fix this one. Okay, so let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we should actually increase the contrast a little bit more. I think we should, so it's easier to see that this is definitely like the back side. So if I make this even darker, and then I take the background and make it darker as well. Just so we don't do that mistake again. I think that's a good... Okay, Yalkin Ment, can you summarize what you're doing? Yeah, just a quick 10-second summary. A few months ago, I made a tutorial on this... oh, this is more than 10 seconds because I need to scroll down. I made a tutorial on this 7-segment display. Oh, it's a year ago, actually. It's almost exactly a year ago. Yeah, so it's a reunion, kind of. I made a tutorial on how to model these 7-segment displays, but I've always thought that I should make a more in-depth video on how to actually animate these numbers, because we're not animating more than like 2 seconds in this tutorial. So, in this stream, the link for this stream will be available in the future, by the way. I will be animating, counting from 1 to 300. It's not as time-consuming as it sounds, because we only need to animate from 1 to 10, and then we can duplicate and time offset and stuff. So, yeah, that's the summary. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we need to, number 5 should be these ones, right? Yep. And then 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Is that just 1? 4, 5, 6. Nope, I forgot to add the keyframe. 6. Yeah, that's just the 1. 6. 6, 15. Okay, 6. Oh, this one is going to have a lot of animation. Almost all of them are changing, actually. From 6 to 7. Oh, I did the wrong... Nope. 6 to 7. These. Ah, I keep doing the wrong axes. This. Is this one right? Yeah. Okay. 7. 6, 7. Oh, wait. This is number 6. Yeah, 7. It's correct. Okay, sorry. This is actually a lot difficult. This kind of work is a lot more difficult than it looks, because you get into the pattern and rhythm, and then you kind of get used to something, and then you mess up. Like I did with the number 2 back there. Yeah, 6, 7. 8 should be the rest. Yeah. 7, 8. And then we have 9, which is just 1. Okay, so 8, 9, 7, 8, 9. And then when we get back to 0, it should be only these two. 8, 0. And now I'm wondering, what if we loop it here? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Well, oh, we need more room there. So after the 0, it should go all the way to 10. So now we have exactly 300 frames, which makes sense. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3. Very nice. I like it. 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so I want, it's going to count down, but we can just reverse the animation. 6. I don't understand. 6, 7? Isn't that correct? Don't mess with me. Okay. So I want to animate this so it looks a little bit. No, I want to just add some shading to this because we're gonna duplicate it so we have like more of them. But I want to add like some lighting first, just so we can see a little bit better what this can actually look like. And now you can see, look at this. We already have the emission shader actually. Look at how cool it looks. Oh, 6, 7 is a meme. Okay. Look at this. Look at how amazing it looks when you can see that the numbers are kind of lighting up our scene there. I think this is such a cool effect. There's really something that happens when you get this. Five. I think this will be even cooler when... Oh, there's one thing I need to show you that we can do. We can... I actually want to make this scene separate collection so we can hide this. Yeah, so now if we... I want to just show you something because this worked when I tried this. Here you can see in the keyframes here. If we select all the keyframes and then we press V and we set it to automatic instead, we get this crazy looking keyframes. But now we have kind of like a... They're kind of overshooting a little bit. See that? I think this is a really cool effect. It looks a little bit more organic. But we can still read the numbers. But it feels like they're a little bit more alive because they're kind of bouncing back and forth a little bit. Wouldn't you agree? It's a little bit subtle, but I think it's a really cool effect. By the way, Cycles is so fast right now. Like, this is Cycles, but it feels real time. That's just crazy. And I think if we get DLSS in Blender 5.0, I think this is going to be absolutely crazy. Okay. Maybe we can give it like a tint of a color, because I like to change the color along the way and feel like get excited about color changes. Oh, no, let me just add a quick bloom here as well. Just that's not subtle. I just want it to be like brighter, like this. I don't think they will allow DLSS due to licensing issues. Oh, that would be extremely unfortunate. Someone should just make an open source alternative to DLSS that is just better, and everyone will use that instead. That would be amazing. I feel like the open source industry, like part of the internet, is just maybe 1 to 2 years behind the proprietary software. So you can see it, for example, in generative AI and stuff like that. You have like the open source models. They are coming, even if they're not as fast. Okay. So now what I want to do, I think I want to see if this still loops. Let's just see here. Okay. Let's make it cyclic actually. Let's press, make sure everything is selected, and I'm gonna press Shift E, make cyclic. Ah, there you can see we have some issues. Here you can see this one. This is what I'm talking about. You can't really see this in animation. But there you can see that this one, no, it could be, which one is it? Yeah, this one, here you can see. There's this weird thing that is happening where it's rotating like a lot in like a very minimal amount of frames. So we need to just kind of fix that by just manually tweaking it. Because if we do it once now, I don't think we need to do it again actually. So we can go down here. And I think we also need to do this. Just move it down. I really like how they're kind of bouncing back and forth. Okay. Yeah, here you can also see this one is rotating 180 degrees like this in like 0.1 seconds, which is not something we can see in the viewport. Yeah, and here it's also doing something stupid. Oh, I don't know how to fix that. Maybe we... Hey, maybe we actually just render this without motion blur and we don't need to worry about this. Because it's not that much movement. Yeah, let's just render it without motion blur. And we don't need to worry about this because I spent a lot of time trying to figure this out the last time. Yeah, we won't notice. We can... Can you temperature increase the color of the light when it's turning? It would be cool looking to increase. Oh yeah, so it goes like colder when you're rotating it. I feel like we could do that from the start to finish in the animation. I'm not sure if I would want to do that in for every motion. That could be like a little bit confusing. Okay, anyways, let's now this should loop, right? Yeah, it does loop. It's just some issues with motion blur, so we can just disable motion blur. Okay, so I want to add more versions of this now. So let's just duplicate this. Shift D over here. So now we have two numbers. But I want to take this one to the left here. And I want this to move 10 times slower, because then that becomes like number 10. Sorry, if you send the same message many times over, I'm gonna have to give you a timeout. If you send, if you take this and you speed it up by 10 times, slow it down by 10 times, you will be able to see something really cool. Let me show you. So if I take this one, and if I set the pivot point here to 2D cursor, and I just press S and X, and then just type 10. Now what you can see is that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's like this gradual change. It's like this takes 10 seconds to swap one number, right? But one thing that I found that was really cool is that if we take these keyframes and you set our pivot point to individual centers, and we set this, we need to set this back to auto clamped, by the way, it can't be automatic. What we can do is we can kind of, with the individual centers, we can kind of scale this up. So they get this really fast animation in the middle there. See that? Now it's kind of doing this fast animation. Yeah, that's too fast actually. So that means we can move this all the way over to 9, 10. So here we should have the first one. 9, 10. Look at that. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Oh, it says 19 there for a little bit. We need to just make it a little bit slower. Nine, 10. Yeah, and then it should line up when we get to 19, 20. Ah, nice. Look at that. 20. Oh, something stupid is happening to this one. What's that? Why does it... It's just taking a really... Oh, I don't know why that is happening. Should it be down here? Like that. 0, 1, 2. It could be actually. 3, 1, 2. Yeah, now it looks better. 20. Oh, that looks very satisfying. Can you look at this? You see this number here? 19, 20. Very satisfying. I am enjoying this a lot. 7, 8, 9, 30. I need to go through this and just see if there's any more issues. Yeah, we can wait until it's 40. Yeah, and then until it's 50. I think that one bug was because we tried to fix the loop earlier, but 59, 60, 61. $70. No issues, right? 60, 70. Yep. And then 79. 80. Oh, I love these numbers. It looks very nice. Can you also feel some sort of nostalgia looking at this? There's something about it. It feels like I'm looking at a familiar watch, you know? Maybe I've spent too much time looking at digital clocks. Oh, Abyssite Studio sent money. Okay, thank you. Nice. I appreciate that. $2. I can buy myself an indie game on Steam. I might do that actually. 90. What? Hang on. 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. Oh, that is so satisfying. Look at this. If you pay attention to these numbers here. 2, 3, 4. You know what we could do instead of rendering it out with motion blur? We could just render it out at 60 frames per second. Oh, that would double the render time though. I'll have to think about that. We'll come back to it. But we're not going to count up only to, here you can see 99, 0. Yeah. So now we're going to take this new one here and we're going to duplicate it one more time. So we get like in the hundreds instead of in the tenths. So if we duplicate this here, and then we take all the keyframes in the 100 place, and then we scale this up by 10 again. Now we're getting, it's getting really juicy here. 0, 100. Oh, yeah, it's difficult to line this up. Okay, so there's 100. I think we need to make this animation even faster now. $99, 100. Nope, need to be faster. $98, 99, 100. Nope, should be a little bit earlier. I just don't want it to say 199. I want it to transition exactly at the same time. 95, 96, 97, 98, 9, 100. Oh, very nice. How fast is this rendering? With which render engine is this? This is, I'm still using Cycles. I'm using the optics, and I have an RTX 4090, which makes it very fast. But I think also the stream compression is very kind to this, and we also just have like these diffuse shaders, and I'm using the GPU denoiser. So, yeah. By the way, I'm not doing like seconds from like I won't be adding a colon to say it like that. So it will be like a countdown from 300 seconds to 0. 99, 100. And I also think that we might be looking into an issue here at the beginning. Yeah, let's clear the cyclic on this one. So 78, 79. Yeah, let's look at this. 81, 2, 6, 9. Can you add milliseconds? That would be crazy. Oh, it works. I think it works. 98, 99, 100. Yeah. It's crazy how you can fast forward to it and it actually looks like a real clock. But then when you look up close, you can see that these parts are actually moving. Like these mechanical parts. I wonder if that will be possible to kind of emphasize in the final video. Like that. Oh, maybe for the last 99 seconds dim the first 0. That is a good point actually. So it goes like, yeah, up to 100. Just previewing this. 93 for 7, 8, and then we would dim up this, and then we would get like a... Yeah, that's an idea, I think. Just so it doesn't say this 0 for such a long time. That could work. But I was thinking about doing this 5-minute animation. So it will go... Okay, let's see the timing here. 96, 97... Yeah, it holds up. Nice. Oh, maths, you know. Okay, something stupid is happening to this one. Look at how it really wants to turn, but I think it's turning a little bit too early. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything to be able to do with that without going through and animating it kind of more thoroughly. 300. Yeah, we can do we can start the animation there. 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 300. Yeah. Okay, I think that works. Okay, so what we can do, we can reverse it now. I'm gonna save a duplicate incremental save. Let's go to the middle of our animation, which is like, where's the middle? This number divided by 2. Here is the middle. So if we take just 2D cursor and just -1, I think that should work. 300. Yeah, it works. Okay, so now we have a countdown. Yeah, you don't need to render this. You can just have it real time in viewport. That's true. I could just open like the blend file if we're doing that. Honestly, it would be better because then you can like go in and change colors and you could, yeah, I don't know. Wait, I think this song is the one that is being used by Stuff Made Here. Could I, is that correct? I recognize this song. It's from Stuff Made Here, I think. That channel always uses this when it's like this interesting part of the video. Pretty cool. So apparently he uses Epidemic Sound. Nice. There's an affiliate link in the description if you want to. No, just you do you. 4, 3. Okay, so what I was thinking, it could be cool to add like a text in front of this. Maybe something that says starting soon or something. Text. Something like that. Maybe extrusion. But I don't like the Blender font. I appreciate it, but like graphically, I'm a little bit sad every time I see someone spend a lot of time on something and then they end up using the Blender font. Maybe this one works. Nope, it's a broken font. I feel like this is something I made a right-click select about this, but actually most custom fonts are just broken in Blender. If you go to fontsgoogle.com, you can see that you have all these custom fonts. Some of them are really cool. If you sort by popular, for example, I don't know if you can sort by popular. Yeah, maybe these are the most popular. I tried like 5 of these, and almost all of them are broken in Blender. But they work in like Inkscape, GIMP, I don't know. It's kind of unfortunate that the fonts are broken in Blender. And you can't even use the geometry nodes importer as well. It's a little bit unfortunate. Maybe we can try this font. Yeah, I would like something thinner. Something... It looks kind of epic, doesn't it? Maybe we can add a camera. Look at that. I don't know, should we have Century Gothic? Yeah, I think I like that font. I'm not sure if I have it. Century, no. I wonder what should happen when it gets to 0. This animation is 9,133 frames. That is going to take actually forever. 0. Yeah, I think I will just... I'm not sure what I will do, actually. Your voice is clear. Nice. I'm glad about that. Yeah. What fonts do we have here? I think I have... Hang on, I do have a folder where I just need to do this, because I have some files I can't really show yet. Let me just see. Fonts. If I just add this folder. Yeah. Here we go. So now you can see I have some extra fonts here. Maybe this one. It's a cool one. Explosion at 0. Is this the Apple font? Your Glowmac tracking thing got me out of a hole this week. Nice! I'm glad to hear that. I'm still working on the compositing tutorial, which uses Glowmap to its full potential. So I think that will... Not full potential. That will be actual geometry. But some very cool compositing tips and tricks, I think. .305. Yeah, so I think this will actually take forever to render. Maybe we can add like a... This... How long does one frame take to render? Okay, so 3 seconds times 3 seconds times 9,144 seconds. What? 7 hours? Not that bad. We can actually do a 60 frames per second render then. I think we actually could. Let me see if... yeah, I should disable motion blur. And then if we change our frame rate to 60 frames per second. 60. You could add another color for when it's 10 seconds left. Yes, I think I will do that. I agree. That's a good idea. But it would actually make sense to kind of disable this one when it's kind of goes down to 90. Oops. Goes down to 90 and then it's just into these numbers. That makes sense, I think. It says 1 and then when it goes to 0, then these kind of just turn off. Does that make sense? Do you agree? Or would you like to see it count down all the way like this? I feel like it's more clean. Okay, hang on. Maybe can I do a poll? Start a poll. Yeah. Keep the number 0 after 99. Okay, so I made a poll now, so you can vote in the poll. So the question is, do we keep this number 0? What I mean by that is, should it stay like this, number 0, all the way until we get to the end? Or should these numbers kind of fade out, so it only says this after 99? What do you think? You should vote in the poll, and we will... yeah, so yes means that it looks like this. No means that it looks like this after 99. So we can leave the poll up for another minute. Let's see. Dim it. It has utility as ambient light for silhouetting in foreground text. Maybe that's 0. Just turn off the light. Yeah, I think we won't hide it. We will turn off the light if that's... don't delete it, just dim it. Turn it off. Oh, here's a question from DN Media. Any reason you're not doing minutes and seconds? Yes, I just... that would take too much capacity of my brain. So I just counting down from 300 instead. Okay, yeah, so dim it. Yeah, I think that's a great middle ground. We can dim it instead of removing the geometry. Yeah. Okay. I agree. Let's do that. Okay, so keep the number 0. Yeah, so we're keeping it, but we're dimming it. Yeah, nice. Okay, sweet. So that means we go to... yeah, that means we need to make a separate material for these... for this number. The hundreds. We're going to call this core 100. Just see here. Yeah. Now this is a separate material. I regret changing the color there. Okay, so when it gets to 90, there 1. And then 0. I feel like that's a cool vibe. Yeah, but we can't have it... yeah, we need to be a little bit more clever with our... Oh, you can't see. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you know what? Let me just actually undo all of that so you can see. Yep, I will undo all of it. Sorry. Oh, I'm so glad you... yeah, pro streamer. True. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm back now. Okay, so here we are. Oh, that was probably like 2 minutes. Oh my god. Yeah, so now we're like... okay, so when we get to 0... here. Okay, so let's take all of these and let's give this a new material. So which is this one. So 5, so now these have a new material, and then we let it say 0 for a little bit, and then we'll kind of make it fade down. And this should be maybe here. I don't know how I feel about that. Is there an idea to just, I don't know. No, but hang on, I actually kind of like that vibe of these numbers not being on the exact same plane. Is this cool? Something like this. Is that an interesting? This is stupid. I feel like it adds a vibe to this. Oops, I forgot we changed the frame rate, so we need to make the animation slower. Completely forgot about that. Should be half the speed, double the frames. Yeah. Okay, no, yeah, I agree. I agree. It's kind of harsh. No, it's okay. Yeah, I think you're right. It is cool that they're on the same line. Just don't dim it all the way. Yeah, I think the problem here is that this is like dark in the middle here. So what we could do is we could add like to this core light. We could add like an add shader. And then we take the diffuse shader from the edge here. And then we paste it in. So now we have like this diffuse shader. It's not like, look at this. It's not completely black. It's like a little bit more realistic. But this should give it more light here. So we need to do this for the other ones as well. This music is really chill actually. Oh, what am I doing? I'm having a stroke, I think. Here is where it should be pasted. Oh, okay. Yeah, so now we're kind of going 1, 0. This should dim down a little bit earlier, I think. It's too slow. Is it better if it's like there's some sort of animation on it where it's kind of... Or how about this? Let me ask you this. Would it be better if all of these just kind of when it gets to... Instead of going from 1 to 0, it just goes... let me show you. Instead of going from 1 to 0, it goes like this. Would that be better? So it's just the other way. I think that might be difficult to understand unless I kind of show you what I'm thinking. Look at this. If we take it here. Where's the next... So if we take these keyframes here. Yeah. Look at this. Now what if we did this instead? One, 3, 1, 0, 2, 1. What about that? I feel like that's better than dimming them down. It feels very weird to see them light up with the 0 and then they're kind of dimming down. So I feel like this could be like a good... I'm realizing that now I'm not listening to the poll at all, but it was it was fun to do a poll. Yeah. Okay, you all approve? Nice. Good. I appreciate that. Starting soon. I think this could be a fun... Oh, hang on. For my... I really love doing this. I really like to change the color. We should do a global color... no, we don't need to have this as the... Yeah, so... Now I kind of want to change this color here. Oh, wait. We could do... Should we do like some animated texture on this when it's like 10 seconds left? Instead of it changing color, it could like turn into some pattern. I think that could be fun actually. So if we look at this, I think these all have... we can just UV unwrap them. If we do something like this. Oh. Some sort of pattern. That's kind of oh, that's actually a really cool effect too. That's unironically really cool. Like this pixelated vibe. We might actually keep this. Is this a cool thing to have them having like this texture? And then when it's like 10 seconds left, we can have this randomness. And it can kind of become a little bit more colorful. I don't know. There's something about that could work. Maybe... you know, something like this. So when it's 10 seconds left, we get this thing. Oh wait, it should... These numbers should also kind of rotate away when it's... No, it shouldn't. Hang on, so we're here. I really like it when it's just like this clear. We could make it very subtle, like this. And then I kind of think I like this vibe. How about that? So we have this, but when it... I feel like I like it when it has a little bit of a texture like this. Yeah, the grid matches the vibe, I agree. It's a little bit more of a texture. We could actually also... Could also add... Let me just experiment with something here. I'm just thinking loudly for this... I'm just thinking when it's 10 seconds left, would it be fun if there's some sort of light that kind of expands out? Oh, what's that? We should maybe have a perspective camera then. I think the random rainbow pattern doesn't fit with LED style diodes. I think I agree, yeah. Yeah, maybe there's something here about when it's 10 seconds left. Wait, what happened here? 9, okay. Yeah, 10, 9, 8, 7. I'm thinking, what if for every number here, just this... what if for every number after 10, there's this explosion, comes like that? Maybe that will be like a little bit distracting. Oh, you could add music and use the ground disk as an audio visualizer. I'm not entirely sure. I feel like I want to be able to just play music that isn't connected to this animation. So... okay, let me just test. It could be funny if when we get to... no, there is something... 9, 8... yeah. We don't need to have this. We can change the color of the... we can keep it a little bit tasty, I think. If we... yeah, that's too much. But it would be fun if there was some sort of... yes. I think that's cool. Some kind of vibe that is just very like, now we're about... something is about to happen, you know? So this kind of changes when it's 10 seconds left. 11, 10, and then, oops. Yeah, 10, 9. Is that an idea? What do you think about that? So we get like this, when you get to 10 seconds, then you're seeing, oh, something's about to go down. What do you think about that? Replacing soon with now? Poof. That's not a bad idea at all, actually. Starting now. Starting... yeah, because there's something about that. You could have like a... It could like... something could happen. I don't know. Yeah, there's something about that. Starting now. I think that's clever. White to yellow, orange, then red. So it's like, yeah, so it's red when it's like 5 seconds left. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, we don't need to use this mix shader. We'll just animate the color. So yeah, let's do, when it's 100 seconds left, we're changing it to blue. So before that, it's like white, I think. Yeah. So let's do here. Yeah, and then when we get to 101, here it can be white. And then a little bit dimmer. Like this. Yep. But I'm starting to think that maybe it should say starting soon. But we might do like a reframing once we get from 100. So we go like this. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Yeah, I like that. And then when we get to 10 seconds left, 11 here, we will do a 10. We'll just make it really dangerous. Like that. Or in 12, 12, 11, 10, 9. I like that. Background music is from Epidemic Sounds. There's a link in the description if you wanna. I mean, if you wanna. I shouldn't be promoting it that much because it's just the music I'm using sometimes. Okay, so we're starting at 305. and it's just white. Should we try and do something with the ground texture? Maybe not. Two, one. Maybe it should actually be a different color from the very beginning as well. Yeah, I don't want this to be black and white. I want it to have more life to it. So maybe we can make it something... just, I don't know, hair. So it's a little bit more contrast to when we get there. You always talk about seconds, so why not add a minute separator? 167 seconds, for example. Yeah, but it... I'm not that smart. I would really struggle. And I don't think it would be interesting to watch me struggle that much, to just figure out the, okay, now it's up to 6, and then it's down to 0 again, and it's, you know, to loop, and you need to... It's just so much easier to just multiply it by 10 and not do like 6 and yeah. So maybe that's for like another project, but for now it's gonna count down from 300, okay? Hope that's okay. I also think it's pretty cool that it just counts down like this, because I really like to see these numbers move around. I enjoy that. Are we gonna render on stream? I mean, it's probably gonna be like a 14-hour render, so yes. No, I don't think so. 200. What's a different color we could have here then? I think I want to have something strong. Yeah, maybe something like this. No, it's based minimum effort enjoyer. Yes, I think that was a mistake to make it that. I think we could be there instead. How about black body at 3200? That's not a bad idea at all. That is a very good idea. Yep, let's delete this keyframe. And let's delete this one. So now we're at this color, and then, yeah. We'll do that. That's a great idea. Oops. Maybe even 2000. 2004. I really like this black body vibe here. Yeah. So if we go to... yeah, 201. I think that's good. Yeah, I like that idea. I like it. Okay. Daily facts. Hi. Maybe would it be fun to explore something that involves changing this size here? So maybe when we start out, I don't like the randomness, but maybe something like this. I don't know, it could be something there. Does it use geometry nodes? No, it doesn't. This is just keyframes and shaders. Maybe we could start there. I wonder what that would look like in I think that might be cool in full screen. Nope, that will be difficult to animate. Yeah, so we can kind of fade it up. Yeah, so we're starting a little bit dark and then we're kind of moving it up. Some light coming from the back would be cool. I agree. Yes, let's do that. Okay, so let's add keyframe to this. And then let's just gradually make it up to frame 200. Where it becomes a little bit more of a real screen like that. Yeah, so now it will kind of fade up over this minute, which I think it's a cool effect. Did you animate the numbers by hand for all 300 seconds? Yes, technically, but you don't really need to animate 100 seconds or 300 seconds. You only need to animate 10 seconds, and then you can kind of just duplicate that. Where's the gorgeous bloom? I think it only kicks in after a certain strength, so that's a good point. I should lower the threshold. Yeah, good catch. Thank you. Yeah, maybe we can... Okay. Wait, there was a comment. Yeah, it was... Let's do this here. There was this comment about adding a light from behind. Let's try that. There is something here. I think I want to try and make this studio backdrop into something. Oh, what happened? Oh, nothing. Backdrop. Bevel. Or what? Our scene is crazy big. Or what's going on here? Oh, it's just, yeah. Okay, never mind. It's just me being, okay, nice. So if we, down here. Because now we can do something that I really like. We can add like this. I feel like the music is making this sound more important. Now I want to make this whole... Yeah, this is a good comment. Now I want to make this whole 7-segment display logic so I can put it in string and geometry nodes and store attribute of which one should be lit up. Yes, do it. It's 100% worth it. Because every second I've spent experimenting with these 7-segment displays, it's such a fascinating way of just learning things. Because you know how it's supposed to look in the real world. So you kind of don't want to give up until you're nailing it. And that's such a good propeller. I don't know. It's such a good way to be driven forward, I think. I was thinking maybe something like a... I don't even know. Volumetrics. I think maybe that would be overkill, yes, because we're already looking at a 18,266 frame long animation. So like every half a second is such an amazing improvement in, like, if we can get rid of half a second of render time, that's huge. So I think volumetrics is might be difficult, or not difficult. It will be easy, but it will be very expensive. And I think I want these to be a little bit closer to the ground here. Should we experiment with some materials on these? Yeah, let's do that. Let's just see, can this edge material here be glass, for example? How does this look? Oh, that's stupid, because then we can... yeah, let's just try maybe glossy. I think I like the diffuse vibe. I just want to try. Yeah, I think I like the diffuse vibe. But maybe our screen material, maybe this can have a glossy shader added to it. So we have like a... Look at that. So inside this screen here, you can kind of see a little bit of reflection. I gotta go for 15 minutes. Please keep cooking. Okay, I'll see you in 15 minutes. We should try and impress Abelinos until they get back. So let's just see here. Yeah, I think this is also a good time to kind of line up this scale on these ones. Oh yeah, that looks better when we have no, and then they kind of light up. That's good. Okay, this light back here is not super... Yeah, it's a little bit valuable actually, so we're gonna tweak that a little bit. Yes. Maybe there. It's nice to have like a little bit of a shadow coming from behind, I think. Maybe... who is this for? It's just for me, for my stream. Or if you're meaning who the video is for, it's just whoever wanted to watch it. I don't know if that makes sense. Oh, look at that. Now we get some shadows. Oh, that adds a lot. Yes. I think that's a good idea. I think so. Fun for fun now. Yes, it's definitely for fun. I was no, you know what? There's also one more reason why I'm streaming. It's because I'm currently working on a tutorial where, and I'm not sure if you knew this, but when I'm recording tutorials, I'm always struggling a lot getting the takes. I'm just spending so much time over and over just making mistakes, you know? But after I did a live stream, because I did do a live stream last week as well, so last Friday, I did also do a live stream, here is the compositing hacks, and I just, after I recorded a tutorial after the live stream, it was just so much easier to record a tutorial. So, yes, I'm working on the glow map. No, that was a previous... Right now I'm working on a compositing tutorial. My point is, a part of the reason why I'm streaming today is because it just makes it so much easier to record tutorials. Because I need to actually talk. Now I've been streaming for 1.5 hours, and I need to like talk into the microphone and the camera and just think about how to phrase things. And since this is live, I can't do anything over again. I just need to go for it. So I guess it's very nice therapy for me. So thank you for being part of my therapy session. Yeah, I think I want to try. There is something very cool about this shadow. This one. Yeah, but things are a little bit washed out now, as someone commented. So, back of the LEDs, yeah, I'm gonna make these a little bit darker. And then we can also make this ground floor a little bit darker. But there is something about this area light here that makes kind of like an interesting... Yeah, it's a nice vibe. You know what? I think I actually need to just go to the bathroom real quick. So I'm gonna just change this text here to be right back. So then you can, let's say if you want to watch this from, yeah, I'm not gonna use more than 100 seconds. So I'm just gonna set this here and I'm gonna click this button and I'll be right back. Oh, I made it. Wow, that was close. Oh, it should go for a little bit longer. Nice. Hello. You can hear me, right? I muted myself, but now you should be able to hear me. Just in time. Yeah, it was crazy. I was actually looking at the stream on my phone just to see if I was going to make it. Zero. Three, 2, 1, 0. I feel like it should stay at 0 for a little bit longer. I'll figure out how to do that. The worst part of watching Polyphore is looking back at my own things. Let me just tell you, I feel the same way. It's very easy to get discouraged by watching other people's work because everything looks so more impressive when you're first looking at it. So if you're looking at someone else's work and you're getting really impressed, you should know that a large part of that emotion is just the feeling of, oh, this is new and you don't know how it was made, for example, or yeah, there's something extra to it that you don't get because you have your own work and when you're looking at your own work, you have like there's so much, you know how the sausage is made, you know. Starting soon. It could actually be fun to have like possibility to have different text here. So we could write, for example, welcome to the stream, or welcome to the stream. Come say hi. I feel like it could be fun to have like words like that just being added, but I'm not sure if that should be like I think it's also cool that it just says starting soon. Yeah. Is that better? Or maybe I should add just it. We should have some bevel on this. Have you considered entering those Punisher render challenges? Yeah, I have, but I think I would spend too much time on it, and I get so invested in projects when I spend time on them, so... Yeah. If you make your own clock, you've got control all of the time. Good one. Link it to your brain so we can read your internal monologue. Yeah, so we can just say that instead of starting soon. Yeah, I need to add some bevel to this. This is a nice scene. Maybe we should actually have like a camera, so it's animated like that. Would that be better actually? Because right now it's just the same angle all the time. What do you think? Should we have an animated camera or should we have a like a stationary camera? Let's see. Animated or stationary camera. Animated. Hang on, we call it static instead. I'm making a poll here. Static. Can I change the color of the poll? Is it always white? Huh. Martin, good morning from Norway. Good morning, Martin. How are you? I have a question. I'm working on a burger, but I have no idea how to make lettuce. Oh, do you have anything for the shape? No, I think lettuce is extremely difficult. Are you able to do it with like a 2D texture, like a projection something? Or do you need to have... do you need to model the geometry for the lettuce? It sounds very difficult to do lettuce. Because everyone knows what it looks like. And yeah. Mohammed Omar, good morning. Yeah, it's actually... Wow, I've been streaming for almost 1.5 hour now. Nice. Yeah, okay, so we're leaning towards animated camera in the poll. Okay. That is okay. I agree. I also want to do an animated camera, so let's do that. Yeah, I think it's a clear winner. Animated is the winner of the poll. 69%. Nice. So let's. I think for this camera we should have it a little bit more wide angle as well, because then it feels a little bit more personal. That you can have. You can rotate around like this. Something it's going to be very subtle, but it's just I just want the parallax to change throughout the video. Animated, a slow dolly zoom will make the feeling of passing time stronger. Yeah, true. Let's start like a little bit further away, and then we end up like a little bit closer, because then we also have the possibility to make the framing a little bit better. I think that's the right way to do it. So yeah. Let's add a camera. No, we have a camera. Let's add an empty object. Empty sphere. And then we'll just parent the camera to this sphere. So we're kind of just animating this around like that. Yeah, so we're starting, maybe we're starting like a little bit out on the side. And then also a nice tip, if you're using a sphere to control your camera like this, you can just scale up the sphere and the camera will pull back. It's a very nice way to get like a dolly zoom. So let's add keyframes to our camera. We want to add the scaling keyframes and rotation keyframes. I want to start here. Oh, we need to do this again. I'm just gonna delete the keyframes. $50 meters, and then we add the sphere. Camera controller. There we go. What is a dolly zoom? It's just a very slowly creeping zoom that is going towards the animation. So like this would be a dolly zoom. So here you can see that the difference between a zoom and a dolly zoom is that, for example, here you can see if I'm zooming with the camera, it looks like this. We're just zooming in, making the image bigger. But if we're actually dolly, yeah, so here this is just a regular zoom. But a dolly zoom, you're actually changing your perspective. So it's a little bit difficult to see now because our focal length is so, but if we move closer, now you can see we're changing the perspective and we're kind of moving through. But if we were to just zoom, it just stays flat and you're changing the focal length instead of the position of the camera. And if you do both at the same time, you get this crazy vertigo effect, which is really fun. Yeah, so we're, let's do like a 35mm camera or something. We can start with the camera a little bit out here. What? And then we're moving like here maybe. Is this subtle enough? Or too subtle, too animated? If I'm being honest, I'm not liking this as much as the previous one. I think one of the problems is that the light here is too weak. We need to increase the strength of this color here. No, it's the balls are too small. Hang on. Yeah. We need this. It just felt too dark to me. And then also, I think we should have a little bit of a narrower focal length, like this. You control the camera using empty object. That's cool. Yeah, I think I recommend doing that. Because then you can always just add another empty and parent that, and then just add layers of... You're effectively just making a rig, but without armature. I think that's... So what do we think about this? I really liked... I think the... Oh, Thomas Flölo, hello from Selje. Nice. And another fellow Westlandic. I don't know what you would call that. I don't know. I think the hundreds might be sliding a little when changing. I think you're right. Let's see here. Yeah, 300 to... Yeah, there's some issues with the keyframe. I'm not sure if I'll be able to fix that actually. Just because of how I've cheated. 3. Yeah, we might be stuck with that kind of behavior. But I feel like the camera is actually moving too fast, and I don't want it to be that dramatic. So let's just take it a little bit more easy with the camera. So we have a little bit of a more angle that is like this. That feels a lot better already. And then I want to kind of, I don't want to go that far over here. I want to just... I think I want to always be on this side. But I think we can do something like... We can go lower, I think. And we can also move further in. It's just, I just got a really bad feeling about this wide angle moving around. Just, I don't know. So maybe we can... Is this... Where's the scale? Yeah, here it is. Yeah, that feels correct. Starting soon goes a little bit closer like that. Yeah, so it's a much more subtle camera movement, but I just don't want it to be too crazy. It just felt very... it didn't match with what I was hoping of making, you know? It's sometimes it's difficult to articulate that properly. You could put the camera at the bottom of the number so they look oppressive and show off the detail of the texture. Or completely not do that. Yeah. This music reminds me a little bit of Flight Simulator, if you played that. Oh, Abelinos is back. What have I missed? Okay, so we did a poll on doing camera animation. And we ended up with doing a subtle camera animation. That was like what we ended up with. So here you can see we're starting out and we're moving closer. And then, oh yeah, we might need to reframe this a little bit. I can see that now. So we're here. And then we need to be a little bit more... here, I think. So now we're kind of shifting a little bit to the right. I think I like that. We could do even more actually. Maybe here. And then we could also just go to the end. No, it's okay that the camera has stopped when it's 50 seconds left. I also feel like I would like to have like the chat on the right here. Because in my previous... let me just quickly show you for like 2 seconds. I'm going to be muted when I show you, but then you can see that the chat is like on the left. Look at this. So that's my old one. And I kind of want to do the same here. So like the chat is on the right side here. Like that. So I think it's important to have some move on the right side. Nice. Oh, Denim Pirate in the chat. Hello. How are you doing? Add fog glow at last. I do have some fog glow. Or I do have the bloom instead of fog glow. I've been using bloom more lately. I kind of like it. But I'm not sure how much we should add here. We could actually start up higher. Yeah, we could do that. We could start up here, so we see more of the shadow, kind of. Feels... yeah, I like that. My goal in life, having a small studio like Asbjørn's, complete with OLED TV and synth. It's the dream. It is. Every day... I'm not kidding. Every single day I walk into the studio, here you can see it's my studio. Every single day I walk in here, I think that, oh my god, I'm so lucky that I get to have a room where I can do everything I love to do. It's crazy. There's not a single day I walk in this room and I'm thinking, oh, back in this room again. You know, I'm always appreciating it. And that is so cool. I thought I would get tired of it, but I've had this for a year now, I think. I really like that. Yeah. Daniel Strong Agani. Polyfjord, do you have the file with the... Oh, there's a crown next to your name. That's cool. I don't know why that is. Do you have the file with the previous loading animation with the light traveling in glass? I don't think I have the file, but if you want to, I could show you how to set it up, because it's possible to use only with like default Blender built-in stuff. It's actually super easy to set up. So if you like, we could just wrap up this countdown here now, because I think we're getting done with that. And then I could show you how I would set up that the streaming intro. And what they are talking about is this one, by the way. Or it could also be the one from the previous stream that was a little bit warmer and had a lower sample count, so it looked kind of worse. But yeah, here you can see. Yeah, this one. So I could show you how to make this, because it's super fun to set up, and it's actually not that advanced. Yeah, so I can I can see if there's anything else I would like to do with this. Now it's kind of zooming in, and we have this subtle perspective change here. 3, 2, 1. I like this. Yeah. We can even change this even more. Yeah. Is Eevee a joke to you? No, it's not. I just think that Eevee... Hang on, can I draw? I think I have a drawing program. Let me just show you my problem with Eevee, okay? Or not my problem, but my philosophy with why I'm using Blender. No, Cycles instead of Eevee. So, what's the hotkey here? Oops, is it X? Okay, X. What is it? Oh, you just click it once. Okay, this program is called draw.io. So, let me just explain to you why I like to use cycles. Okay, so let's say this is how much time you're spending on a project. It is 0 hours, and let's say you have 10 hours. 10 hours. And with cycles, can I change the color? Yeah, with we're giving this color to cycles. With cycles, I can spend this amount of time just making the render and making the scene, putting the scene together. Let me just show cycles. Cycles. I can spend this much time putting the scene together. This was actually kind of stupid. I should make this line shorter. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so here's the this is a better example. So let's say you start your project here. Yeah. Start project. Project. And if I'm using cycles, yeah, and then end. So if I'm using cycles, I'm starting the project here, and I'm spending probably, let's say I'm spending 10 hours making something look really good. And then I'm working like 10 hours on making something look really good, and I'm trying to make the animation look as good as I can. And then I need to render. So then it will render like this, right? Because cycles is it takes a while to render. So this is rendering. Render. I'm actually going to write cycles render. Cycles render. But if I'm using Eevee, let's give Eevee this color. If I'm using Eevee, I'm working for maybe this long on my animation project, which is maybe like 5 hours. And then I'm spending like another 5 hours making it look good, just polishing it and cheating and adding like I'm spending time making the Eevee render engine look good, right? And then at the end, maybe we can do this color again. Here is the Eevee render time. So that's where Eevee ends, you know? So I feel like even though you will render faster with Eevee, let's just make this the Eevee. Eevee. Even if you do render faster with Eevee, I feel like it's not worth it because I spend so much time in Eevee making soft shadows, all kinds of fake setups. You're adding shadows and you're just trying to hacking things. But in Cycles, you can just spend all the time kind of make the scene behave like an animation, and then you can just add a bunch of bushes, vegetation, and you start the render, and it takes longer, but you get to spend more time doing the animation, and then you don't need to sit there and wait for the render. So yeah, I understand that a lot of people love Eevee, but I haven't found the love for it yet because I'm so obsessed with indirect lighting, like bounce light, actual ray traced bouncing. I just think that looks so beautiful. So here you can see, for example, the reason why I think this works is because you have this beautiful bounce light here, for example. Look at all these beautiful things that are happening. Like this thing, you would have to cheat so much to make this look like this in Eevee. And I don't want to spend the time making it, doing the cheating. I just want to press render, and then I can wait and I can go away. Yeah. And especially if you're looking at if you're thinking about the DLSS update that might come to Blender 5.0, it probably will not. It will probably be different than what we saw in that thing. But I think that if we get like a really good DLSS thing in Cycles, it might not be even necessary to use Eevee anymore. If you can do like really fast, yeah. Look at this beautiful like indirect shadows here. That just feels really good, I think. Yeah. So, but I think this is over. This stream countdown. So now I want to show you how to make this other thing. But I think I will actually just take a short break because I got a message on my phone, so I need to just reply to that, and I'll do the be right back thing again. Hang on. Hidden. Be right back. I'll be right back. Let me just start some new music. Retro wave. Let's listen to that. Yeah, I'll be right back, and I'll show you how to create this that streaming setup that you saw. This thing right here. I'll show you how to make that. So I'll be right back. Oh, just made it. Wow, crazy. Okay, so let's have a look at this other technique. So I'm just gonna bring this back. So this will most likely be what you'll be looking at in my next stream. I'll be using this stream countdown, so make sure you're here in the next stream. Hopefully, I don't know if this will work. Hopefully, I should be able to live stream next Friday as well. Let me just see. It might be difficult, but it could be possible. So yeah, I don't know if I will might live stream next week. We'll see. Okay. So let me close this and let's open up a new blend file. I think maybe we should move you guys over here. Or like here maybe. Yeah. Okay, so what we want to do is you go into preferences. I'm going to save my project first. Not. We're going to go to preferences, edit preferences. Is this music a little bit too loud? And you want to go to add-ons and search for extra curve objects. I'm not sure if it's an extension. It could also be an extension. I don't know. One of these places, either get extensions or add-ons. You go to extra curve objects. Please stop asking about my specs. You can just watch my Q&A video. It's available there. But I'm using a RTX 4090 as I showed you in my stream earlier. Extra curve objects. Yes, that's what you need. So now you can go Shift A, and go curve, and down here you can see you have knots, and you have torus knots plus. So that means you can add this really cool curve object. And let me just show you what our goal here is. We're going to create, oh, sorry, too far down. This thing. And this is super easy to create actually. Sorry, music was a little bit louder than I, yeah. So now I clicked away this menu here. Sorry, I was super distracted there. Let me just start over again. So if we first go to edit preferences, you install the extra curve objects. Now you can go Shift A, curve, and you have access to a bunch of extra stuff. So if you go knots, torus knot plus, you can bring up this menu here. Oh, and here you can see you have a bunch of different settings. Of course, that is right behind where I put this. So yeah, so here you can see you can change all kinds of presets. So if you, for example, set it to 7x6, you have this crazy shape, or you can set it to color, all kinds of stuff. This is a really cool thing. You should experiment with this. So I'm going to use 7x6. And then I'm going to zoom in here. And I want to set this to one spin. Yeah, you can actually choose. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think we can do maybe 7 and 6. Scale and height doesn't work. Minor and major works, so let's just do maybe like this. And then I think I want to increase the segments. Nope, that didn't work. Yeah, because it's set to adaptive. Oh, that's too many. 12. Curve. Yeah, the curve thing is the one you can increase. So if you increase the curve thing, you can actually change how often it should kind of twist. And I'm not sure if you want to have this really high or really low. I can't remember. Yeah, maybe really high actually. I just want, let's just do 1,000. That's probably crazy. Let's do 1,000. And under geometry, you can change the resolution, for example. If you enable wireframe. I think maybe this could be, if we create another knot here, you can see we have the previous settings. I want the radius here to be a little bit different. So maybe like this. And then let's do 8 and 6. Maybe 7. Yeah, okay, this is cool. You move the chat screen, now it's kind of top. Oh, I froze? Okay. Anyways, you can use the Torus Knot Plus to tweak these presets, and then you can basically create this effect that I showed here. Yeah, this is opening effect here. It's very slow for some reason. How can I access the panel again if I click somewhere else? You can press F9 and it works sometimes. But if you've used edit mode, for example, then it doesn't work again. So it's very unfortunate that it's a destructive process. Can't really go back. Okay, but now you can kind of make this a little bit taller. And here's the really cool part about this. If you simply rotate it, let me just disable the overlay here. If you rotate it, it kind of looks like it's twisting and spinning up. But it's actually just rotating. It's really cool. Look at that. So now if you go to the geometry, if you go to the object data properties over here, you can go to the geometry, for example, and you can increase the bevel depth like this. Or you can, here you can see, you can also increase the resolution. But we're looking at a really high resolution here, so let's just lower this a little bit. Yeah. Look at this effect. It kind of looks like it's... Yeah, now it actually looks a little bit like it's spinning. But sometimes it's possible to make it look like there's something on the inside that kind of wants to get out. I think maybe I'm doing too many revelations. Yeah, let's try and make... it is actually kind of difficult to dial this in. So if I do... I think this is good, yeah, to have fewer of these. Yes, this is it. Okay, this is more like it, yeah. So 12 revolutions and 2 spins. Now look at this. If we scale this up now, this is more like it. Yes, look at this. Now if you rotate it, it's going to look like there's something in the middle that is kind of coming up. And it doesn't actually look like it's rotating. Yeah, it's a really cool primitive, yeah. So you can kind of rotate it like this. And then when you add the shaders to this, you're basically getting everything for free. It's very cool. So I'm having way too many vertices here. Yeah, and then if you have like squares, if your vertices looks like this, then you can add, for example, a subdivision surface modifier. And it will look really smooth. You can start rotating it like this. And now we can add a ground plane and an area light. And if we turn this into a glass object, for example, we get a really cool effect right away. Let me show you. Oops, that was a ground plane. Yeah, so here you can see, now we can turn this into glass. Look at that, that is such a cool shape that you can just rotate and it looks like something is growing. I really like this effect. Look at that. That is such a cool effect. Can you make the light trail that goes inside the tube longer and faster? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, there's also a light trail inside the tube. Yeah, I'll show you how to set that up. This is also a really cool lighting, I think. This is a really cool vibe. Is this live right now? The holy cornflake. Yeah, this is live. I love this vibe. And also, if you... Hang on. Look at this beautiful texture that is kind of like in the floor here. If you start rotating this. Yeah, and also... Maybe we should add some glare, yeah. What about a ball that is rolling in between those kind of guardrails or guiding rails? Ah, yes, you could make a ball that's rolling inside of this. Yeah, you could. You could, for example, if you use Alt S, you can make it thicker. So you could make it thicker and then have like a ball that is kind of being transported around inside of it. We could add that. So if we add a sphere, for example. We want to place this inside of here. I think we should be able... I mean, it's already a path, so I think we should be able to just follow path. Yeah, this constraint is very weird. It's a modifier? What? Okay, I'm not using that. I'm using... Let's just use the deform. No, let's try and actually use the follow path. Why is it not moving? Okay, let's do the deform curve. Okay, so now, oh, it's deforming actually, yeah. How did we do the path thing? I don't understand why it's not working. Let's just see if we can figure this out. Follow path. Okay, yeah, we just needed to reset the location of that thing. So now if we scale this down, now this is inside. It doesn't actually... yeah, it doesn't actually look like it's inside. Can we do this? And make it roll? Yeah, I think it looks like it's rolling on it now. This sphere is rolling on it, yeah. Maybe this could be... ball. Oh, look at that shape inside the ball. That's really cool. Kind of cool, actually. Goes around. I'm not entirely sure what we should do, if we should make... I think I want to make an object inside of it instead, because this ball rolling around, it's not... yeah, I think we should do like an emission inside the tube. So I want to add a circle. And let's extrude this. Now we can do the deform to curve. There we go. So now we can move this on the z-axis. And it will follow the curve. Very nice. Then if you place it inside, and we can make it emission. But we want to have it, we want to give it a material that is kind of like fading over time. I think I should change the title of the stream, because we're not like making a stream countdown anymore. What are we making? Exploring refractions and exploring torus knots. Knots in Blender 4.5. Hashtag cycles, because that's beautiful. No, I don't want to use the hashtag. Yeah, so the stream title should be updated now. I'm not sure if it will update for you. Maybe we can do a cylinder projection. There we go. No. See. What is happening here? Why is it? Oh, I'm not. Yeah, my bad. Sorry. So that's 1 to 0. Good. So now we can flip this. Maybe B-spline. I feel like this is what the vibe I'm always going for. We have this bright object at the beginning, and you have this tail that is just kind of falling off like that. And then I also want to add a transparent shader. Oof, I'm always adding the wrong. There, if you add a transparent shader, it will kind of be transparent at the back here. If we don't have it, look at that. Now you get this, but if you add a transparent shader, can do that. Who wants to see Norway lights emitting from the structure gang? I don't understand the comment. Okay. Now we should be able to animate this by moving it on the y-axis. Oh, look at that. Yeah, let's make this darker. So this can kind of light up our scene. Oh, that looks very good. I want to lock it so I can only move on the Z-axis. Yeah, should we rotate it? Should we rotate it as well? By the way, this is 2 curves actually. I feel like I should mention that here you can see this object that is rotating around. It's not, for example, it's never touching this curve right here. It's never passing through there because there are 2 curves here. See that? Look, it's coming around like there and then it goes below here. So it's never turning that. Make it dark and light blue. Okay. Like this, you mean? Okay, so I think maybe we should duplicate it because it's only going through one of them. So if we go into here, I can kind of separate this. So now this is 2 curves. There we go. Now we can take these 2 circles here and we can move them. So there are 2 of them. Which is a lot cooler. It looks really cool. Maybe the glass should be hollow so it can be inside the glass. Could be. Let's try and see. We add a solidifier modifier to the glass. I'm not sure how. Wait, where are our? Are these still inside now? Yeah, now the glass is hollow. I think that might actually look a little bit awkward. I feel like I like it better when there's more refraction in it. Now you can kind of tell that these tubes are hollow. I like that the tubes are kind of lighting up. Love seeing them both moving together like that. Very yin-yang. Yeah, it is actually. Especially when they get up here. They kind of go up like this. I really like that. But I think I might get rid of this solidifier modifier. But it was cool to test it with it. Oh, it looks very cool from above. Maybe we could try it just without any light sources. Does the path follow still work if the torus also rotates? Yes, it does actually. So if we can take these 2 here, if we rotate this, now you can see we're actually getting this rotating effect, which we were creating in the beginning. But I feel like it's kind of nice that they're just stationary like this. Is it getting a little dark in here? Maybe I can do this. Oh, it was on already. Okay. Oof. Shejan Khan. Hey, bro. Okay, we need to make proper progress here. First of all, we haven't added any keyframes. How long should the animation be? 10 seconds? And then how fast would this need to rotate? Oh, wow. Yeah, okay, so this can rotate slower. Yeah, here's what we'll do. We'll animate this rotation first. I'm gonna add an empty object. It is kind of like the torus controller. Then we can take both these tori, I don't know, both of them, and parent it to that controller. So we can rotate this. And then we want to loop this. So I want to just zoom in here and draw. Here. So that means we can take this and we can rotate it. How many degrees is that? Until we get around like... Oh, it's 180 degrees. It loops every 180 degrees. Okay, yeah, so we don't need that then. Okay, so how many 180 degrees do you want to do? Let's do maybe 1. Make the other one red. Maybe. Let's see. What happened to the strength of these? What have I messed up something somehow. Something has been messed up. This apparently this affects the rotation. Okay. Let's just do the UV then. Yeah, we can use the UV. That's the wrong way. Okay, yeah, so now we're back. But apparently this messes up with the geometry. Yeah, that makes sense because it's deforming. Okay. So now it goes one rotation like this. This should be a perfect loop. I don't know, is it? Are we missing one frame? Oh, it's one frame too much. Yeah, so we just need to start on frame 0 then. Okay, good. So then I want to animate these, let's call these, no, let's just call them circles. Okay, so let's take this exact location here. It's kind of like a stupid way of doing it, but this one. And then first frame. Okay. Okay, let me just draw here. Okay, so we're on first frame. Location keyframe, last frame. Where is that? There. Where's my drawing? Okay. Oh, yeah, default setting is so stupid. Just lock that. Okay, now, yeah, now we're good. So now this should be looping, right? Oh, we're changing the objects. Can you keep the curve thick in the front and thin in the back? Yeah, we might be able to do that. Let's see. Okay. But I need to double the height on this thing. Yeah, that's actually kind of simple. Just there we go. Okay, so now it does actually loop. Yeah, and then we just need to... is very fast. This might be too fast. And it has some this weird... What? Okay. Two fish chasing each other. It is. Okay, now we're actually getting somewhere because we can change this. Okay, so it's not a perfect loop, but you won't be able to tell. No one will be able to tell. Okay, now sorry, that was probably a lot of meaningless tweaking. It might look like it, but now we have a perfect loop here. So, oh, and it's the wrong way. Yeah, I'm gonna just flip the color ramp and we're good. Okay, nice. This is way too fast, so we need to... Maybe we can speed this up. I mean, slow it down. I mean, speed it up. That's the wrong way. Okay, does it still loop? I'm very confused if it doesn't loop. Okay, it still loops. Do the inside things need to spin at 3 times the speed of the knot to make a perfect loop? Interesting. It could be. I'm not entirely sure how many rotations it is. But that could be. I haven't looked at the numbers. We could have it. No, it won't translate because these are moving because they're being deformed. So there's no way to kind of read the numbers here and figure that out. Nice. I feel like I like it if it's the other way, so I'm just gonna reverse everything. And then we also need to flip the shader again. Yes. But everything is going way too fast, so let's just take our entire animation and make it 20 seconds long instead. I forgot to time stretch. I just changed the end frame there. Stupid. Now we should be a little bit... Yeah. What about round front? I'm not sure if I understand. Lunch egg. Round front. I think it should loop now if we watch it here. No, it does not loop. We have messed up these two. Now it should loop. Sorry that looping is kind of difficult to explain because it's such a gut feeling thing, and then it just it's one of those things you spend so much time tweaking and figuring out. I like the way they naturally speed up as they go in the center without any need to keyframe the speed ramping. Yeah, that's true actually. I'm so true. I'm so agree with that because there's something about the rotation is cancelling each other out in the most convenient place. Very nice. It's a really cool effect. You look exactly like the German YouTuber Niklas Kolors. Okay, let's find out. Niklas Kolors. Oh, yeah, maybe we are a little bit alike. That's funny. I mean, I should have shorter hair, but we have our glasses are so similar. That is crazy. Can I fast forward in this? No. Can I see here? That's crazy, yeah. Can I open image in new tab? Nope. It's a difficult way to... Yeah, we have super similar glasses as well. Very interesting. That's funny. He's not me, I promise. He looks smart. Okay. Thank you for that. That's amazing. I had a colleague at my job a few years back who looked exactly like you. He was from Norway too. It was so distracting. That could have been me, but it probably wasn't. You look like Spider-Man first series, Tobey Maguire. I have heard that before, but I haven't seen that myself. This song is really cool. It's called Awe. It's called And Behold. Pizza time. Oh, he says pizza. He says pizza time. Yeah, that's true. Last time I tried to render this, let's just do some close-ups here. I tried to set the performance. Nope. The film. Nope. The light paths to have full global illumination, and it actually really helped with those beautiful lights. You talked a lot about cycles and Eevee. What would it look like if you changed to the other? Yeah, we can try and render this in Eevee. I think this is one of the cases where you definitely want to use cycles, but we can see. I don't even know if it will work with the add shader. Yeah, so here's what I talked about. I would have to tweak this material to just make it transparent. Well, yeah, I don't even know how to use the glass shaders in Eevee. Yeah, so this is one of those things you would have to... I mean, it's very smooth, but I think maybe I won't be able to tweak this to make it work in Eevee. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Maybe we could do like this. Is this a fun idea? Or is it just distracting? I think it might just be a little bit distracting. I think so. Oh yeah, the guy that asked if we could make these look thinner on one side. We can try that. We hide this and this. I think we should be able to just do a very simple linear offset. Like that. So now they're bigger at the beginning and they become thinner. That's actually kind of cool. Yeah, I think I like that. Yeah, we can keep it like that. Can you round the can you round the front of it too? I think so. Let's see. I wonder if we might be messing up with this might work, but I'm not entirely sure. It could actually be better like this, yeah. Can I link the object data? Yeah. Oh, that actually looks really cool without the thing in the middle as well. It's actually surprisingly nice to look at. It's like they're playing with each other, you know? It's definitely the yin and yang thing that Animating talked about. But it is cool with this one as well. It looks almost anime-esque. Yeah, it does actually. Especially with the lower frame rate. It looks like something's from... It looks a little bit like the teleportation animation in Diablo. When you're summoning a portal, it goes like this for a little bit and then you get a portal. I'm starting to think that this animation could be... Because I'm rendering it out from the front, I think maybe it could be like really cool to render it from like a little bit more of a crazy angle, like up here maybe. Not that this is a crazy angle, but then you might get some... I think I just like the change. Do you know Max Hay? I don't know them, but I follow them on Instagram. So I guess I know about them, but yeah. Is good topology really important? I'm a beginner, should I focus on good topology? I don't think I would worry about good topology. It's unless you're making a video game, then that's important. If you're doing a physics simulation, it could be important. If if you're just rendering stills or animations, it's not that important. There are way more important things to focus on, I think. For example, just lighting, just getting comfortable lighting things. I think that's what I enjoy the most, at least. I think maybe I should post this project file to Patreon, on my free Patreon. So if you're watching this stream, if you watched all the way to the end, I appreciate that. As a thank you, you will get this project file that loops seamlessly, so you can make your own animated wallpaper, for example. It should loop seamlessly at least. Let me just see here. Do a render of the first frame, and then I'm going to do a render of the last frame, and we'll see. So this is one of those things that's going to take quite a while to render. So yeah. In 10 minutes, this will be the longest Polyfjord stream. Oh, wow. We need to stream for 10 more minutes then. Wow, almost 3 hours. That's crazy. Okay, yeah, then we'll definitely keep going for a little bit longer. Thank you. Let me go to the last frame here and do a render. So now we can see. I remember when I first heard you say, I think I just like the change thing. It was so game changing for me. I use that mindset all the time when I'm making stuff now. Like, do I actually like this, or do I like that it's different? Yeah, I think that's a big deal. I think that's also why other people's content looks so amazing, because you're used to seeing your own work. So when you're watching someone else's work, that's like always gonna be fresh, and also you don't know how it's made. So yeah, I think it's important to be aware of that. Or it might not be important, but I think it can be efficient, and it can be a nice way to just lower your own expectations, for example. Testing out some depth of field options here. Focus. Maybe we can add some warmth to this. It could actually be fun to look at this at a fast speed, like it's funny. Okay, I'm pretty sure this should loop right now. If I just hide this, we go. Okay, so there's something weird with the height here. If you zoom in closely, and you can see. Yeah. I'm really sorry to say that I most likely won't be able to figure out why that is today. But it also might not be noticeable. Look at this. Yeah, we're kind of moving down. Yeah, can you even tell where the... I don't think it will be possible to tell. Oh, is it this? Oh, yeah, this is doing a jump here. That could be the issue, actually. Sorry for saying that I would be able to figure it out. The height is from the torus rotation. Yes, you are right. That is correct. Let's just see. Can we figure out what to change here? Yeah, so it's just doing a too big jump here. So we might... What if we dial this in one frame. Oh, it might actually be that. Yes, it starts at -2. It should start at... No, it starts at -1. It should start at 0. Yep, so now... Oh, that felt really good to figure that out. I think we can give the different color material to both, like one is blue, another we can give orange. Yeah, you're right. I think that could be cool. Let's just see here. There might be one reason why we can't do that, but let's just see. Let's call this emission warm, and then emission cold. So now we can call this core cold, and then core warm, and then we'll use color temperature. Oh yeah, they're linked to data, so I need to make them separate users. Relations, single user, materials. There we go. Okay, now we have 2 of those. That's stupid. Cold. What? Object and data and materials. Ugh. Now I have so many stupid materials here. This is kind of difficult. Warm. Okay, so now we have 1 warm and 1 cold. Okay, so now I can go file, external data. Where's the purge thing? Clean up, purged, unused data. Yeah. Let's get rid of all that. Ah, nice. Now we only have this. Good. Okay, and then we want to change this to something very cold. Nice. Now we have warm and cold. I think the warm one might be too warm, actually. Oh, I gave them the wrong materials. There we go. Now the question is... Yeah. Nice! Oh, we're getting closer to the longest stream I've ever had. Try introducing a radiative emissive pole in the middle. I can try. I don't think that will be cool. Or I think it will be interesting, but I don't think it will be... I think it will be too confusing. But we should always explore ideas like that. So thank you for the suggestion. Oh, diffuse shader is cool. Interesting. Well, let's see here. I'm going to give it the name of your username. What's your username? Talent Unlimited. Emission. I don't know, it could be a little bit distracting. Let's try and give it a gradient texture. Gradient texture. Wait, where's the... Something like this could work, like you have like a... I don't know, there's... could work. It looks like a honey thing. Can I make this in Eevee? Will it look 80% good as yours? I think this effect is one of those that is very difficult to do in Eevee. Because there's so much refraction and reflections in the glass and the subsurface... No, not subsurface scattering, but like too much ray tracing is happening. I'm starting to worry that... I don't know. I think maybe it was cleaner without. I'm just getting used to looking at it without. So I think maybe I'll save this idea for another time. Okay, let's try and do another still render. Agiab 3D, hello. Guess I'm late. No worries. This video will be live, or the video file will be here, so you can watch it back in the future if you want to. Wow, we're getting close to a 3-hour stream. That is crazy. Oh, you know that song? What song is it? Night Stalker. Cool. Yeah, so here you can see we're gonna need more samples because this is a little bit... Yeah, I'm just gonna give this project file the sample count I think it deserves, and then if you want to render it out yourself, you can make the choice if it's worth it, because this will be a long render. It's a 20-second render, so it will be... How many frames is that? 600 frames. And it's probably gonna take almost a minute per frame, I think. The emissive cores are actual geometry. So they give motion blur. Yeah, that's a very good point. That's true. Yeah. Oh, I really like these colors that we can see in here. We're getting so many cool... a lot of cool stuff is happening inside there because of the warm and cold. Oh, and then... Oh, that was very nice. Yeah, here you can see we have 500 samples, and here's 2,000 samples. So 13 seconds versus 35 seconds. Not sure if you can see this on stream, but... Oh, look at how much sharper this line here is when you render it for a longer time. This is blurry, and then this is really sharp. Have you ever considered using Octane for renders like this? No, I haven't. I've actually never tried Octane. Is it good? I've just been a Cycles boy for as long as I can remember. Or, I can actually remember the day we got Cycles, which was a very amazing day. Oh, the lighting here looks very cool with the... I think I'm going back to a symmetrical look. I like this. We shouldn't make it warm though, we should just have it neutral. Yeah, I think we are getting close to something that I can enjoy. Does the light from the spinny things actually bounce off the floor plate? Yes, it does. So let me show you a render I did in a lower sample count. Or if you've been watching the stream, you have seen it already. This opening here. Here you can see that there is actually a definite impact here. But this was rendered very quickly, so it's a little bit... the quality isn't amazing. But there's something about... Look at how nice it looks when they're actually lighting up the ground there. Look at that. I can really enjoy that. So I think that will be even more noticeable in this one, since we have different colors. Yeah. So I'm going to... Hang on, let's actually just rename some objects here, so it's a little bit easier to navigate in this project file. Gonna join right. Just gonna make things a little bit easier. So torus controller, area light, backdrop. I'm just naming things in our scene because I'll be sharing this on my Patreon as a free project file that you can download. So let's make a collection for our backdrop and just call this scene. I like to kind of separate it. Then we can call this torus. I think the blue cool emissive core is lost its rounded front. Oh, did it? I'm not sure. I don't think it did, but I have forgotten to use the subdivision surface modifier on it. Could it be that? I think that's what you saw. That's a good catch. If you were able to notice this, that's very impressive. That's crazy. Is it the... Huh. No, it was the opposite one. But that's good that you told me, because I was actually missing that modifier, so that's good. Oh, look at that. This is also a cool effect. What's this? Oh, it's my drawing. Yeah, so we're gonna call this, core warm, core cold. Wait, which one is it? Core cold. So we're gonna call this torus not cold. Not cold. Not cold, so it's hot. No, sorry. Not warm. Oh, it looks really nice without the ground floor. But it looks even better with the ground floor. Okay, good. That's good. Ah, look at this. I'm very happy about this. Tiny Noki. Hello there, Mr. Fjord. Hello. Blocker nurse, 60 frames per second. We could actually do that, yeah. I'm not sure if you will actually be able to tell, because it's... most of the movement here is kind of slow, so... or you would be able to tell. But I think I'll be doing this in 30 frames per second. There's something about... yeah. Oh, have we been streaming for 3 hours now? Let me see. Uptime? No, I don't know how I can see the uptime. Yeah, I think we've been streaming for 3 hours. I think we have. Awesome. I love rendering in 60 frames per second when I have the time. Everything looks so buttery smooth. Yeah, it does. I'll have to think about it. But I'll at least prepare this project file for you guys, so you can render this out in whatever frame rate you want. If you want to render it out in a higher frame rate, you can simply go to the graph editor, and you can just press A to select all the keyframes, and then you press A in the graph editor as well, and then you set the pivot point to 2D cursor, and then you press S and X, and then you can scale it to, for example, 2, then you will have half speed on everything. And then you can change the frame rate to 60 frames per second, which is here. And then you can also just double the frame range to, for example, 1200. That should make it... you might need to tweak stuff, but could work. Can you try the new AI feature of Google to create models? Do you mean Nano Banana? I think that's an image model. Or have they released anything new? I'm not sure. Remember to set the 2D cursor to frame 0, not frame 1. Yes, good point. Very good point. Yeah, so you heard him. If you set your 2D cursor, make sure you are on the 0th frame before you scale the thing. Because if not, it will break the... Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to save this on my desktop actually. Stream... What day is it today? Friday. Oh, no, I'm not going to call it the date. I'm just going to call it glass Taurus not grass Taurus not from stream. Yeah, save. So now you will be able to open this project file, and you can render it out as an EXR sequence, for example. I'm going to set it to 2048 samples, which is a lot, so that might be too much. But yeah, feel free to create your own stream countdown with this, for example. Could be cool to see. Yeah, today is... oh, we should call this stream like it's not Saturday, for example. Like, look at this. Not Saturday. Oops. And then do a Friday stream and just call it that. That would be actually genius. So I should probably have done that. Okay. So I will upload this to my Patreon. There's a link to my Patreon in the description. Don't worry, it will not be a paid post. It will be a public post. So anyone who's been watching to the end, you can enjoy that project file. And now, I think, since I've been streaming for over 3 hours, I don't want to make it that difficult to break the record one more time. So maybe another day I can try and break the record. And hopefully, I should be able to stream next Friday. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Boink. Thank you so much for watching the stream. I'm going to increase the music a little bit. Ah, nice. Thank you so much for everyone who watched. Check out the link in the description where you can also listen to the music I'm using. Or there's an affiliate link for the music. And also you can check out the project file on my Patreon. So thank you so much for watching. I will send an emote. This. Okay. I'll see you in the next stream. Bye.